Connor Roberts. I'm joined alongside Brayden Laslo, Logan Powell, Blake Fuchs, and Aaron Pepling. DJ McDermott's going to be joining us a little bit later. I'm going to go ahead, switch the broadcast so everybody gets a little bit of airtime. Everybody turn, wave hi. How we doing? You guys can talk. Every mic's on.
I mean, we're doing well, man. I mean, this is such an exciting time of the year. A lot of hope for a lot of fan bases. We've already seen some pretty major moves outside of this first round. I mean, you got the Bengals trading for Dexter Lawrence, trading that coveted 10th pick, and now the Giants have 2 top 10 picks, so that's something to keep an eye out for tonight.
Yeah, how can you not be giddy about draft day? This is one of the best times of the year. I've always loved the NFL draft, always watched it ever since I was a kid. Just so exciting to see young athletes have their dreams come true on the national stage, where today in Pittsburgh is probably around 700,000 people watching. There's always a lot of people in the stands. And it's just a fun time, and seeing the overreaction is always fun too. But you can definitely expect some big-time picks, and there's always going to be that one pick where it's just shocking, kind of like the Michael Penix trade last year. So just wait and see how it goes, but very excited.
Yeah, I think we'll probably have a lot of those surprise picks because of the fact that it's so unpredictable. Last year when you look at the draft, pretty much everyone knew what team was picking what player before it even started. This year, it's Ty Simpson at number 1, or not Ty Simpson, Fernando Mendoza at number 1. If it was Ty Simpson, that would be pretty funny. But besides the number 1 overall pick, it's up in the air. So there's a lot of players that could go anywhere in this first round, players that we expect from different skill positions, or someone we might not expect. So once we get past number 1 overall, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, this draft is going to be a fun one. It's going to be one of the most unpredictable drafts that we've had in recent years. Obviously, aside from number 1, a number of players could go to. I mean, you're looking at most likely a battle between Arvo Reese and David Bailey at number 2. But no one knows what's going to happen after that first overall pick. Anyone could go anywhere. You can see players fall, players rise. You don't know how the NFL draft boards look. But a big thing, Pittsburgh is actually doing a good job hosting it according to the fans. From what I've seen online, a lot of positive things, a lot of people saying not even much traffic going around. It's looking good for Pittsburgh, not very congested, and fans are liking it so far.
Yeah, and we're going to bring things back down here a little bit. DJ McDermott might be joining us a little bit later. He's running the reaction show downstairs. You'll be able to find that on twitch.tv, which pretty sure our Twitch is U92 or U92 The Moose. You'll be able to find it somewhere. If you want to find us, really just go online to U92themoose.com. You'll be able to find anything you want about the station. But I've got one question for all you guys before we get started. Who's your sleeper?
I got to go with Chris Johnson, the corner from San Diego State. I mean, this guy, 34 solo tackles, a forced fumble, 4 interceptions, and 8 passes defended. I mean, he's 35th on NFL mock draft database right now, so borderline first rounder, early second rounder guy. I mean, I really think that he could find himself playing into that first round, but a steal nonetheless for teams in that early second round to late first round.
I'm about to go with the wide receiver out of North Dakota State, Bryce Lance. Someone who's probably not going to fall in the first round. You might see him in the middle of the second round, but very athletic individual and very good height at 6'3", 204. It's really good. Just overall weight and size. Athletic, 98 athleticism score in the combine. That was number 2 in all of the receivers. And he's someone who was very productive in his college career. Someone who's going to be a eventual contributor on an NFL roster. He's someone who's very good after the catch, athletic, like I said. I just think he's someone who has had, with his experience, with his production, and his intangibles, he's going to be a very good pick in the second round.
My pick is Lee Hunter out of Texas Tech. I watched him play 3 years at UCF before transferring to the Red Raiders last year. He had first-team All-Big 12 and third-team All-American honors this year. 41 tackles, 11 TFLs, 2.5 sacks, and a forced fumble. Very impactful at the nose tackle position. He's very good at disrupting the run game and can be an impact player for a team that needs help on defense. I'm expecting a late first round, maybe early second round pick, but I think Lee Hunter is someone to look out for.
Yeah, I'm looking at Cassius Howell here. He's been very productive his senior year. Obviously, he had a very decent junior year, but then this year he took a massive step up. Defensive edge out of Texas A&M, 31 total tackles, 20 solo, 11 and a half sacks. Those are most of his career, 7.5 more than his junior year. He's really taken a step up. And then you look at his combine results: 4.59 40-yard dash, 32.5 vertical jump, 9'7" broad jump. He did a very good job showing out his athleticism. You can really expect a team in the late first, maybe early second, to take a chance on him. Obviously, he does have the production. He does have the skill set. It's just, can he take that and elevate it to the next level in the NFL? And that's going to be someone I would think you could definitely see go from anywhere in like the 23 range all the way to the 45. He'll fall somewhere in between there, and he'll be a steal for that team.
Yeah, and my sleeper, Brandon Cisse. If you know me, Brett Burner, Cody Burton, Matt Foley, I've been talking about Cisse for pretty much the entirety of the college football season. He doesn't have those eye-popping numbers. 27 total tackles, 19 solo, 8 assists. Not a big interception guy, only 5 pass deflections all year. But he's just athletic. He's an athletic freak. He posted an 80 athleticism score at the combine, 8th best amongst quarterbacks. He's right now mid-second round, sort of kind of in between mid-second round, could potentially be a first-round pick. In my opinion, he is like the 3rd best corner in the draft. I think the 2 Tennessee guys are the best corners, and I know that's really controversial because Mansour Delane is absolutely outstanding, but those 2 Tennessee corners, if they didn't get hurt, outstanding players. That's my sleeper. You guys ready for the fun stuff, though?
Of course, yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's mock draft time.
Oh,
We're doing a mock draft, and I think we all know who we have going 1-1. We're in full agreement. Mendoza.
Yep.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Pick 2, the Jets. I have it set between 2 players, David Bailey or Arvell Reese.
that's pretty much what is the consensus, those 2 players at number 2.
And I believe that because the Jets kind of canceled that meeting with David Bailey because they said they, quote, know everything they need to about David Bailey, I think it's going to be Arvell Reese. If anybody has any contradictions there, throw them this way.
Nope, I agree. I have the same picks there.
Same here.
Yeah, I'm also going to go Arvell Reese. I'm a big Ohio State guy. Arvell Reese has been one of those top-tier linebackers in the nation this season, and he fits the Jets scheme a lot better, in my opinion, than David Bailey off the edge. But, I mean, no matter the pick here, I think that the Jets are getting a guy on the defensive side of the ball that knows exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, for the Jets, they have a lot of needs, especially on the defensive end, specifically in the defensive back category. No interceptions last season. However, you got to start in the front 7 area. That is where the NFL is trajectory towards dominating the pass rushers. And Arvell Reese is someone who not only can rush the passer, he's also very good in the run game. And that is not what David Bailey is successful at. He's more of a pure pass rusher. So getting Arvell Reese where you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone, very good decision for the Jets.
Yeah, and I think the versatility is an important factor of Arvell Reese. Also having that NFL level coaching at Ohio State, guys like Matt Patricia, who have been at that NFL level, having that coaching experience would help as well. First team All-American, first team Big Ten in 2025, 69 tackles, 10 TFLs, 6.5 sacks, so he's just kind of all over the place. I think it's a great pick if the Jets go with Arvell Reese.
Yeah, Arvell Reese is one of those players who, in my opinion, is going to be a very similar player to Micah Parsons in the fact that he can play linebacker, but you're most likely going to see him on the edge when he comes into the NFL. Maybe he'll start off at linebacker for the Jets, work his way into the edge position, because he did say, and I quote, when he was playing edge at Ohio State, he was going off vibes. That is what he said, and based off the production that you saw from him playing off the edge, going off vibes looked pretty good.
Yeah, and like I said, Arvell Reese, B-Laz, I mean, you watched him all season. You're an Ohio State fan. You know how good of a player he is. I mean, I think that's easily pick 2 just because the Jets seem to be shying away from David Bailey here. Pick 3 is a very interesting one. The Cardinals need an offensive line. They need it bad, and Francis Mauigoa is right there. A top 10 prospect, best offensive lineman in this draft, but David Bailey's sitting there at pick 3.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no wrong choice here, but it would feel kind of criminal if you're the Arizona Cardinals here and not take the best available in David Bailey. This is a guy who has a really, really good chance of changing your trajectory on defense as a team. I know one piece isn't going to win you a championship necessarily, but I mean, getting a guy like David Bailey on the edge for the Arizona Cardinals would be huge for their franchise moving forward.
I think I'm going to be the first hot take here. I think that the Cardinals are going to go best overall just in terms of the entire draft in Jeremiah Love, running back out of Notre Dame. Arguably the best player in this draft across offense and defense. I know it's not what the Cardinals necessarily need. They have James Conner. However, he was banged up last year, and Jeremiah Love is a generational prospect. He's dangerous in the run game and also in the pass game. He's smart. He was at Notre Dame for a very long time. He is just crazy production. I just think if you're the Cardinals here, you have so many holes you need to fix. Go ahead and go with the best overall pick and build around him and your offense. Get a quarterback in next year's draft because more than likely you're going to be here again next year, come around with a deeper quarterback class. So then you have your running back for the future, and then you get your quarterback in the future next year.
Yeah, and you talk about the amount of picks that Arizona could pick, because I got someone different. I got Sonny Styles from Ohio State, the linebacker.
Good.
Yeah, he was a 3-year starter for the Buckeyes, second-team All-American, first-team Big Ten, just an impact player all around. He's really good at making important adjustments during the play, can navigate traffic and ignore the noise that's going around. Just a really big impact player. And I look at the Cardinals defense, I don't think there's that big impact player. I think if you're starting out with the number 3 overall pick, defense wins championships. You can get someone that can help on the offensive line later. I would go defense if I was Arizona, so I would pick Sonny Styles.
Yeah, I'm sticking with David Bailey. I feel like he's probably your best player considering what they need at that time. Obviously, if they don't take Francis Mauigoa, the next time you could see him, the Browns at pick 6. And if the Browns don't take him, he could fall. But I believe David Bailey is the 3rd best prospect in this draft. He's a very good player. I would say number 1 edge. I'm going to put Arvo Reese at that linebacker / edge spot. And the edge class is just so deep that I'm going to take Arvo Reese and put him at linebacker. That's what he's listed as in PFF. But David Bailey, he's my number 1 edge prospect. He has been done a fantastic job his entire career, and I think he'll be a very good edge in the NFL.
All right, so we've got a toss-up. Could be any player we've said here. I'm going with what the database says the Cardinals' biggest need is of the available prospects, and that's David Bailey. David Bailey is a massive, massive human being. He's huge. He's going to eat up the run game potentially. He struggled with it in college, but man, could he get off that edge. David Bailey for the Cardinals feels like the pick, mostly because I'm a little bit biased here. The Titans do one thing well, and that's draft running backs. Hall of Fame running backs. The Titans do that one singular thing well. And who do we have up? Jeremiah Love.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, ever since Derrick Henry left for the Ravens, they've been trying to fill that void, and they have a perfect opportunity here tonight to plug in Jeremiah Love with Cam Ward in that backfield. That would be something special to watch, in my opinion. I think that you add Jeremiah Love to this young offense, this young and growing offense that is. I mean, they still do need a lot of help on that line and in the receiving room, but putting Jeremiah Love in there does take instant pressure off of Cam Ward and potential for another stud long-term there at that running back spot.
This is another team that could go multiple different ways. You know, you could go Sonny Styles if he's still on the board, just a pure linebacker who's going to be on the field at all times. High IQ player, incredibly versatile, played on the Buckeyes, especially in that defense where led by Matt Patricia, who led that NFL defensive scheme. However, it's another team that could just use weapons. They have virtually nobody on the offensive end. And I think you might see them go after one of these stud receivers, Mekhi Lemon, Jordan Tyson. I really love Jordan Tyson. I don't know if he's going to go that early. So maybe if you're the Titans here, you go Mekhi Lemon. But, I mean, you need offensive playmakers. But I think overall, more likely what's going to happen is Sonny Styles. He's still available.
Yeah, I'm going to go Jeremiah Love just because he's such a big impact player. He had the 3rd most rushing touchdowns in all of Division I NCAA football with 18, while splitting reps with Jadarian Price, who also could go, I think, late in this first round. He's very much a running back that could also be a short yardage receiving potential. He had 27 receptions for 280 yards and 3 touchdowns, but as long as it was only 36 yards, so you could use him as sort of that wideout if you need him to. but it's mostly because of the fact that he's just such a good player on the run game. I think Robert Saleh, first year with the Titans, he's going to want someone that he can take from the college level and develop in this run game. I think Tennessee has a lot that they need to build off of. This could be a perfect weapon to start out that rebuilding.
I think if Jeremiah Love falls into their laps, they're going to take him. He is a fantastic player. He could be the number one player in this draft. It's just the positional value. He's a running back. Running backs typically don't last long in this league, but the last time the last time the Titans drafted a running back that was very good coming out of college was Derrick Henry, and look how long he's lasted. He's now in, year 8? He's been doing a fantastic job his entire career. Might be longer than year 8. I don't know. I don't remember, but he has done a fantastic job, and I think you pair Jeremiah Love with Cam Ward, that backfield is going to be dangerous.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with everybody who said Jeremiah Love. I also agree they could go with Sonny Styles or a receiver. My initial mock draft had them taking Sonny Styles, but once things started coming out about the Jets' direction and the Cardinals, while they are blowing smoke that they're taking Jeremiah Love, I believe that's more of a tactic to try and get a team like the Cowboys to trade up, a Pep's team. I know the Cardinals say they're taking Jeremiah Love, but I think that is just smoke in the wind. I think Jeremiah Love to the Titans is the dream, the perfect pick. We're going Jeremiah Love, pick 4 to the Tennessee Titans. Now it gets interesting. The Giants. Giants need receiver. Giants need defensive backs. Giants need 1 offensive lineman. Your top 3. Linebacker, Sonny Styles. Safety, Caleb Downs. Offensive tackle, Francis Mauigoa. Then, Carnell Tate. So, where did the Giants go?
I honestly think that Carnell Tate goes to the Giants at 5. I just think that makes the most sense here. You need another receiver alongside Malik Neighbors on the outside. And Carnell Tate showed at Ohio State he's played along some of the best receivers now that are in the NFL. But I think that if you pair him up with Jackson Dart, Cam Scattaboo, Malik Neighbors, that's a match made in heaven. And if you're the Giants, you have another pick at 10 where you can fill those defensive needs. So, and you're taking away a receiver from the Cleveland Browns, who I know probably do have their eyes set on a Buckeye in Carnell Tate. So you could cause some controversy there in front of the Cleveland Browns here if you are the New York Giants.
Yeah, I think the Giants are also going to go receiver here. They just need offensive help. I mean, especially in this new era with John Harbaugh, and young quarterback, I think, and not really unproven running back situation with Scattaboo, especially when he's injured last season. I think you need receiver help. You saw how it was last year. They just hadn't really no one. So, I mean, Carnell Tate, he's very high. I personally think Jordan Tyson is my favorite receiver prospect in this draft. So I would go Jordan Tyson here. Just a bigger prospect, 6'2", 203. Scored really well at the combine. No, he was injured. However, when he was on the field, highly productive. And I think he's going to be someone who's instant day one impact for any team, especially the Giants, if they go that route.
Yeah, I like Carnell Tate here, mostly because of the fact that he played wide receiver, too, to Jeremiah Smith most of the time that he was at Ohio State, because he had still over 50 receptions and 15 yards per reception in 2024 and 2025. But you can still play him as wide receiver 2 behind Malik Neighbors if John Harbaugh leaves. That's wide receiver 1. But I think because of the fact that there were injuries to that Giants receiver core, Malik Neighbors, the biggest loss, I think John Harbaugh, who is coming in first-year head coach for the Giants, wants someone that he can have to add some depth to this Giants roster. Carnell Tate was second-team AP All-American, first-team Big Ten. Guy has the potential to be a very good supplemental portion to this Giants team. He's not going to be the number 1 guy, but he will be probably 1.5, someone that will be a very big support for Jackson Dart.
Yeah, I agree. I think Carnell Tate is definitely going to go number 5 to the Giants. Obviously, we don't know what the GMs are thinking, but Carnell Tate, in my opinion, is the best receiver in this draft. You can play him anywhere. If you want, you could put him at the slot. But when you lose a player like Wan'Dale Robinson, you need to get someone in there to replace. Carnell Tate would be the perfect player to come in and replace them. And as we are looking at the draft venue, it's packed. It is absolutely packed. I believe it's like at least 100 rows deep of just fans there. And it's looking like a great venue right now, right at the water. Perfect view.
Pittsburgh's so beautiful.
Pittsburgh is one of the most beautiful cities in America, but it's also got some of the most ugly places possible in America. Pittsburgh's literally just like the perfect description of America.
It has the most bridges in all the world.
Yeah,
True.
It's got like 700 plus bridges, right?
Yep.
See, you guys all went receiver. I'm a sicko. I went Caleb Downs.
Ooh.
I think Caleb Downs to the Giants is outstanding. Could you imagine Caleb Downs in a safety slot in MetLife just lighting people up?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I don't know what the.
Whoa.
I don't know what that was. Anyways, I don't know like what these teams behind in between the 5 and the 10 are gonna do. So if I'm the Giants, I'd go what you really need first, and in my opinion, that's another receiver, because you did lose Wan'Dale Robinson this offseason. I just think that these teams in front, the only team that I could really see going with Caleb Downs after them is the Commanders and the Saints. So I don't know what they're actually going to do. Obviously, we don't know. But I don't think that Caleb Downs that early is smart, in my opinion.
Yeah, so we're going Carnell Tate.
I think so.
Carnell Tate it is. Next up, the Cleveland Browns, who are absolutely fuming right now after Carnell Tate is off the board. Cleveland's biggest team need was receiver. Their second biggest need, corner. Third is safety. They also need an offensive lineman. I mean, Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, Maui Goa, they're all still there, but who do the Browns take?
I would go Maui Goa here, the O lineman from Miami. I just think that you're filling a team need. I know they would be fuming if Carnell Tate was off the board, and I think that's partially why the Giants would do that move, but they definitely need to fill a team need on that O-line with Maui Goa.
Yeah, Maui Noah is probably the best offensive tackle prospect. I mean, you also have Monroe Freeling, but I think it's a toss-up between those two. But you really can't go wrong with either of them if they're Browns, but you just need to fill out that offensive line. You have 4 of the 5 spots on that line situated, so now you just need to get that last spot to have a very solid line if you're the Browns, and you're looking at a team that could be sneaky good in the years to come. Very good defense still. Just need to get that offense situated, but they could go receiver still, but I think you got to go offensive tackle here.
Yeah, if you're looking at the board and there's no offensive tackles taken, you just got to go Francis Mauigoa. 6'5", 329 pounds, 3-year starter right tackle for Miami. He could play at guard as well, which is an interesting thing to look at, but it's just seems like a slam dunk if you're Cleveland. Just take the offensive lineman.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Francis Mauigoa. He's, in my opinion, the best offensive tackle. Maybe not the highest ceiling, but I feel he's the most sure prospect. You're looking at the tackles. Maybe you could say Monroe Freeling has the highest ceiling, or Max Iannichor, but those players are not sure things. Francis Mauigoa is probably the most sure thing you will get out of any tackle in this draft. You could argue Caleb Lomu. Maybe he is. But Francis Mauigoa, if he is there at 6, I feel like the Browns take him. If they don't take him, they'll take a tackle with their 24th overall pick.
All right, Mauigoa it is. Moving on to Washington. I feel like this has been set in stone. Washington needs a safety. Caleb Downs is on the board. I mean, where else would they go?
Yeah, no doubt. I also got Caleb Downs here in this spot. And it's interesting to me because Caleb Downs could really go anywhere from like 5 to as late as like 15, but there's no way, in my opinion, that he falls that deep. Like, I'm still shocked in our mock draft right now that he's still on the board, but no doubt in my mind Washington would take him in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Caleb Downs to Washington has been kind of, it's like you said, set in stone for months now. It almost is too perfect. Their defense was absolutely atrocious last season, especially in the defensive back range. I mean, you missed out on a pick a few years ago when you got Emmanuel Forbes. You cannot let another good defensive back fall out of your hands. Get Caleb Downs. I know there's injury concerns. However, he's smart, day one, impactful, hard hitter, tone setting, one that can lead your defense into a new era where if you're Washington, you can actually, return to the playoffs and try and make some of yourselves, because Washington, they're closing on the door of something special there. They just need those few extra pieces, especially on defense. I think Caleb Downs could be a good start to that.
All right, I have an interesting pick here. I'm going to go with Mekhi Lemon, the wide receiver out of USC. When you look at Washington's wide receiver core right now, there's really no one. It's Terry McLaurin, Luke McCaffrey, and Traylon Burks as listed as the number one wide receivers for Washington. I don't think that's a very strong receiving core, and if you can get someone like a Mekhi Lemon, I think that fits the Washington scheme, and he's been really productive. He was top 10 in both receiving yards and touchdowns this year. He was top 15 in receptions this past season. He was praised for his hands in his combine, and he's also first in combine productivity score for next-gen stats out of all receivers. So I think Mekhi Lemon's one of those guys that would be a useful pick for Washington because of the fact that with the competitiveness that the AFC East has, Jaden Daniels needs some weapons. And I think if you can get someone that fits the scheme well, Mekhi Lemon would be a good player.
Now I've got someone no one else has. And I think the Commanders would take a shot on Ruben Bain. I think they see he falls to 7. They would take a shot on him. Yes, you do have Caleb Downs, who I would say is a better player. But you have to take into fact safeties have historically fallen in NFL drafts. Yes, I don't think he should fall. I could see him going from anywhere between 5 to 12. Because if he gets to Dallas at 12, they don't pass up on him. I feel like that is set in stone. I don't think anyone in the top 4 takes him. So anywhere in that 5 to 12 range, you could see him go. I just don't believe the Commanders would take him just because you look at how his safeties have historically fallen. I think he will end up with a team that is expected to take him, but also a team that would be surprised to have him there.
Yeah, and I've also been seeing on Twitter the past 3 days leading up to the draft, the Commanders are heavily interested in Sonny Styles because he has that ability to flex into the safety spot. And also, imagine Sonny Styles learning from Bobby Wagner. Because Sonny, there were times he struggled in the run game this season at Ohio State.
Yeah, going back to his high school days, I actually got to play against him in high school. Not to brag about that. I also got sacked by Sonny Styles. But he actually started out as safety. He got recruited as a safety, and throughout his time at Ohio State, he put on a lot of muscle, a lot of weight, and moved into that linebacker spot. And you just see how aggressive he is and how that safety mindset never really goes away. You're always tracking the ball. You're always making that bigger play. And shout out Sonny Styles for he's just a great football mind, especially on that defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, but I think most of us are in consensus. Caleb Downs here?
Yeah.
Caleb Downs it is. All right, once we get through the first 10 picks, we'll have each person do one pick at a time. We're not going to spend time arguing with each other anymore, even though it does make for some good entertainment. But pick 8, New Orleans, I think this is another surefire. Sonny Styles is still on the board. You have to go best available. Easily.
I would go Ruben Bain if I'm New Orleans here. I think that if he's on the board, he's a great threat off the edge, and New Orleans really hasn't tried to recreate that. They had Chase Young, not really a great player, didn't really pan out in the NFL so far, but adding a guy like Ruben Bain to kind of jumpstart that edge is kind of huge for this Saints organization.
Yeah, I agree. Ruben Bain, if he's available, but if Sonny Styles is somehow still available at 8, you have to go. If you have to go with that if you're the Saints, but realistically, Ruben Bain's definitely going to be available still at that point, so more than likely to see the Saints get him. But I wouldn't be surprised if they also go receiver. They need help in that category, especially with Tyler Shuck, who's clearly the quarterback of the future. So either or, but mostly got to improve on that defense. They haven't had like you said, they haven't had a strong defensive front in really years, except for Cameron Jordan. So yeah, I think you got to go Ruben Bain here.
Yeah, I'd agree with you, Logan. I think New Orleans could be a team to watch out for trading up to try to jump one of these teams to get a wide receiver. But I went defensive tackle. I went with Peter Woods from Clemson because I think that's someone that the Saints could rely on. He was 2-year starter, played 12 games in 2023. Very explosive and has the ability to anticipate and recognize seams to break double teams, maybe it's not your most pressing need, but I think he's an impact player that you could develop and then sort of just build on as time goes on. I could also see New Orleans trading down if they can't trade up for wide receiver.
I think this is the perfect fit for Sonny Styles. I think he's a great player. I'd be surprised if he actually does fall all the way down to 8, but that's where I have him going. I think he is a fantastic player. I think he'll be a great player in the NFL. He has a great combine score. He's an athletic freak. And an update from Peter Schrager. Apparently, he expects Ty Simpson to go off the board today. And it's not a question of if he will, according to Peter Schrager. It's a question of how high today.
How high?
Could we see him as high as 16 to the Jets?
I see him going to the Steelers.
No,
I think the Browns. Hear me out. The 24th pick?
Yeah.
I mean,
I could see that.
He very well could go to the Cardinals as well because of the stuff with Jacoby Brissett. He's holding out.
But I think we're all almost entirely in agreement here that the Saints will probably be Reuben Bain. But just because of the fact Sonny Styles is on the board, you have to take him.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Peter Woods was a shout, man. I have him going to the Cowboys at 20.
It would be a reach, but I could see it.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
What? What's wrong with Peter Woods?
Please no. I don't want
You guys need interior
I
D-line.
don't want him at 20, though.
I've got a different one.
You got Quinn
If
Williams.
you can get him at 20,
That's Quinn Williams and Kenny Clark.
Yeah, 2 injury-prone guys.
They're still studs when healthy, though.
All right, Kansas City. I mean, they're obviously going defense here. They could surprise everybody and go receiver. They could surprise everybody, but Kansas City's biggest gaping need is defensive backs. And at this point in the draft, you've got Mansour Delane, and then nobody's even close on the consensus big board, despite what most people think in the 2 Tennessee corners being incredible athletes, probably going to be incredible NFL players. I think that this could be where you see Mansour Delane go.
Yeah, I agree. I do think that this Kansas City team needs that defensive back help, and Mansour Delane adds that, the athletic corner out of LSU. I mean, he's playing SEC ball. It just means more, man. Like, come on now.
all right, this guy.
This guy's an Ohio State fan, by the way.
Great player. Knows how to use his hands. Good in man coverage. Tracks the ball well. Just an overall really good cornerback prospect. Definitely someone who is going. I would say go in the top 10. Maybe the Cowboys trade up to number 9 and take him. But
he'd be an incredible Cowboy.
Yeah, he would be an incredible Cowboy. But I think the Chiefs also understand that their most pressing needs, and I think they stay put and are happy to get Mansour Delane at 9.
I'm going wide receiver for Kansas City because their wide receiver 3 right now is currently Tyquan Thornton, and I don't know if you want that. I know the Chiefs were looking at re-signing Tyreek Hill. It hasn't happened yet, but I think you can draft Casey Concepcion. He's very good.
In the top 10?
Holy.
Whoa.
Casey Concepcion in the top 10.
It's not as much of a talent
Those
thing.
emails really going to help out. Holy.
It's more of a scheme thing because
The
he's very good.
second round pick?
He's very good at getting open quickly, short usage in short passing situations. Short of that, put him on short slants. It would be a high pick.
It's a great fit. It's a great player. But inside the top 10, you don't take fit. Inside the top 10, you take the best player on the board. Unless the fit is the second best player on the board in Delane, because Reuben Bain's still sitting there.
I mean, yeah, in my opinion, I think the biggest problem for the Chiefs last year was the offensive production sort of stalling. I think they would want someone at receiver that
Mahomes
fits.
tore his ACL.
That was in the last game of the season.
Yeah, but Mahomes was playing with that sprained knee for the second half of the season, and then it ended up tearing.
Yeah, it's because he didn't have anyone open because he had to keep scrambling around and trying to make plays for himself.
Well,
because
that's
there
an
wasn't any
offensive
target
line
open.
problem.
Or a receiver problem. We'll see.
Okay, I do have the Chiefs taking receiver here, and I obviously that could definitely happen.
Could.
The person I have is more realistic than Casey Concepcion. I have them taking Mekhi Lemon, USC receiver. I think he's a fantastic player. I mean, I think he's my wide receiver. Let me see, where did I put him? Because him and Jordan Tyson, they're my wide receiver 2A and 2B, essentially.
Jordan Tyson.
And I have Jordan Tyson as my 2A, Mekhi Lemon as my 2B, but I think the Chiefs rate Mekhi Lemon a bit higher than Jordan Tyson. But obviously, you can't really go wrong with either of those picks, and I think the Chiefs are going to listen to Mahomes. I think Mahomes is going to say, hey, get me a receiver, and they're going to go out and get him either Mekhi Lemon or Jordan Tyson. I have them going Mekhi Lemon. I think that'll be a fantastic fit. Get Mahomes his wide receiver 1 or 2, depending on how he shows up in training camp and all of that. But, I mean, if Mahomes wants a receiver, you got to believe the Chiefs are getting him a receiver.
Yeah, so I guess it's between Mansour Delane and a
Casey
receiver.
Concepcion.
I think
You could go Delane.
I think Delane's probably the safe pick here. I think that's the pick that everybody expects the Chiefs to make.
Yeah, for sure.
But if the Chiefs did want to go receiver, I could see Mekhi Lemon or Jordan Tyson. Either or. I don't think Tate falls this far. But I think we're going to go Delane, pick 10. Me personally, in my own personal mock draft, this is where I had Jordan Tyson going. But in this one, they've already taken Carnell Tate. So where do the Giants go?
I would go Ruben Bain. I mean, it's kind of shocking, in my opinion, that he's already fallen this far. And if you're the Giants, you get a really solid receiver at number 5, and you come back at number 10, and you get a player who should have gone earlier, and Ruben Bain.
Yeah, I think you need offensive line help here. If you're the Giants, I mean, we had Carnell Tate we have Carnell Tate. So go ahead and keep beefing up that offensive line. The name, I can't say the name, but the guard out of Penn State,
Ooh,
Ione.
Vega.
Yeah, Ofega Ione.
Yeah.
Really good guard pick. And I know it's not the sexiest pick, but it's a pick where you know he's going to fill that need from day one for the next 10 years. I think it's just, especially when you've been gifted, not gifted, you had to trade away, Sexy Dexy, but one of the best players, on your team. But you almost were gifted this 10 pick, second in the top 10. So use it for a need that's not so sexy and get that guard who is going to be your guard for the next 10 to 12 years.
Yeah, that's who I picked as well. He's a prototypical guard who's projected to be early. There's a little bit of concern about him making adjustments on the fly, but I think that can be developed as time goes on. I think that's the perfect way to go in this situation.
Now, the person I have the Giants drafting is someone we talked about earlier, further pick number 5, someone who's already off the board. I have them going Caleb Downs at 10. I think just because he is a safety, he will fall in this draft a little bit. But you look at what Harbaugh likes, he loves his safeties. You look at the last safety he drafted in the first round. Take a while. You all know who that is?
Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah, Kyle Hamilton. Look how he's turned out. One of the best safeties in the NFL. I think Harbaugh will go out there, and if Caleb Downs is there at number 10, he will take him, because Caleb Downs is an outstanding safety. He could be the next Kyle Hamilton. Obviously, not the same play style, but you could see them go out there, put Caleb Downs at safety to start the year, have him in MetLife, surrounded by all those fans, screaming his name, and laying the hit stick on a poor receiver.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I could see Caleb Downs falling this far, but personally, I think Ruben Bain's on the board. You take him, but we've got 2 for Vega, 2 for Bain. We're going to flip a coin. We'll go heads Vega, tails Bain. Is that cool with everybody?
Works.
Let's do it.
All right. Let's go Google. Heads, Vega.
All right,
Vega
let's go.
at pick 10. All right.
Let's go.
Belaz, you're up. Pick 11.
I mean, you got to go Ruben Bain here if you are the Miami Dolphins. I mean, you could also go Jordan Tyson here. I could see it. But I think that Ruben Bain should not be available at pick number 11. And if you're the Miami Dolphins, you keep him home, I guess. I mean, the Miami product stays in Miami.
Yeah, you would. If you're the Dolphins here, you would love if you could get that cornerback pick. But at that point, right now with Mansour Delane out, I already picked at least. You don't really want to go that route. There's definitely a little bit of a drop off. So I think you go offensive line, helping at Monroe Fearlane, who is still available, who arguably could be the number 1 offensive tackle prospect in the draft.
Yeah, the Dolphins' offensive line, safe to say, was atrocious last year. So I think they go Spencer Fano out of Utah. First team All-American, first team All-Big 12, won the Outland Trophy, the nation's top interior offensive lineman, first in next-gen stats for both production, athleticism, and overall for all interior linemen. I think you just got to go with the big, most impactful player, and that's Spencer Fano.
I also, I apologize for what I said earlier. I did mean Spencer Fano when I was talking about tackles, not Caleb Lomu.
Thank you.
I messed up those two Utah tackles.
They're
It's my
good.
bad.
They're
Your Cowboys pick now.
Yep.
Well,
we're letting you have your Cowboys pick.
Cowboys
Jordan Tyson's still
well,
on the board.
at 11.
Not that you need him.
At
but
11, I had the Dolphins going Jordan Tyson in my draft. In my mock draft, I have the Cowboys taking Mansour Delane. I don't think the Chiefs would take him. I think, obviously, I think the Chiefs take Mekhi Lemon. I think Delane will fall right into their laps. So, I mean, obviously, he could go earlier. I think he definitely should. He has the talent to go in the top 10. It's just based off team needs and all of that, I think he will fall into the Cowboys' lap at pick 12, and I think the Cowboys are going to immediately pounce on him.
All right, well, for this version of the NFL draft, you've got Jordan Tyson, Fano, Lemon, Freeling, Sadiq, McCoy. Who do you got?
See, that's
I
where
think
it gets.
there's an obvious answer. I think it's
Now,
McCoy.
I'm gonna say the Cowboys have openly said they're out on McCoy. They have openly said
I
that.
forgot about that.
So
Hand up.
they aren't going.
That's on me.
They aren't going to take him, in my opinion. I think a player you could see the Cowboys take that would be somewhat surprising. But if all those defensive players are washed out and you don't really have all of them, you could see them go Thieneman at 12.
You think Tiananmen's going that high?
I think he could. He
All
has
right.
the talent.
We're not arguing.
But-
we're speed running here.
Yeah, I think he could go at 12, and if not, the Cowboys would trade back, in my opinion.
I mean,
If Mansour Delane's already out,
yeah.
If Mansour Delane is out and all the other defensive players are out, I feel like the Cowboys would either go Thieneman or they trade back.
I like that. All right.
hopefully they trade back then.
Hopefully they trade back. And if all the defensive players are off the board, hopefully they trade back. Pick 13, Rams. Jordan Tyson's on the board. Chalk it up. Jordan Tyson to the Rams. Pick 14, Baltimore. What do we got? Blake.
Well, I got Chase Besantis in this one, so I think the Ravens just improving on the offensive line. It just got to, take what you can get at this point.
That's surprising.
Yep.
I
Chase
do not think
Besantis
he
goes
is a
at
top
pick 14. Tampa Bay at 15, I think, might be the most chalk pick in this draft. Their biggest team need, tight end. I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
I
Kenyon
don't know who's
Sadiq.
even picking this pick, but
I don't know.
Kenyon Sadiq.
Yeah, it's Kenyon Sadiq. I
You
don't know.
get-
Blake
you get
might surprise
16 as
someone.
well.
Blake could surprise someone with like Eli Stowers.
Nope, I had Kenyon Sadiq.
Okay,
All right.
That's good.
Pick 16, New York Jets.
What receivers are still available on ours?
Lemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you
Easy.
Yep.
All right. Detroit, pick 17. I mean, Brett Burner has been pushing for this for the past 4 months. Spencer Fano
No
to
doubt.
Detroit. I mean,
Need
that's
Need it.
beautiful.
May I-
Beautiful football.
May I suggest Jadarian Price, David Montgomery replacement?
Whoa.
All right.
Matt Foley is a Notre Dame fan, and he's high on Jadarian Price, and he has him going pick 32.
Blake, you might have the most controversial mock draft I have ever seen.
Blake could be right. You never know. This is the NFL draft.
Casey
Anything
Concepcion
can
top
happen.
10 though.
Minnesota, pick 18. I have Dylan Tiananmen going here.
I do
Yep.
too.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah. That's like the perfect.
He's off the board because Blake took him already. I mean, Jermod McCoy is probably the next best
Yeah.
bet.
Yeah, go.
But Tieman's literally the perfect pick for the Vikings. So
He is.
If he's
beautiful.
he will be there at 18.
All right, Carolina at pick 19. What do we got? Anybody shout a name. First name that comes
Caden
Omar
out.
Cooper.
Proctor.
We're not taking Omar Cooper.
Caden Proctor.
I like
Caden
Cade
Proctor?
McDonald.
Caden Proctor is also one.
Man,
there.
these are great names. I don't even know who I had him taken.
I had McDonald.
I had Keldrick Falk. Weird pick.
Proctor's a good pick.
Proctor's a good pick. We're not taking Omar Cooper this high. I'm sorry.
he could go there though.
We're taking Omar Cooper.
We took Proctor. Dallas, you got it pick 20.
See, in this mock draft, which I'm throwing out the window just because of what has happened in the last
Yeah.
24 hours, in my mock draft, I had the Cowboys going C.J. Allen. I don't think he goes at 20 anymore. In this case, who's on the board for there? What we have?
Monroe, Freeling, Keldrick Falk.
Keldrick Falk.
Keldrick Falk?
Keldrick
All right.
Falk's the pick.
I like that pick for the Cowboys. That's a big pick. Pitt,
Let
pick
me-
21.
Let me. This is So it's absolutely 0% chance that they get Ty Simpson. Heard that. There's also a good chance that they draft up. But let's say they don't draft up. You got to go receiver help here. I know Omar Cooper sounds crazy, but there's recent speculation that he is rising in terms of the Steelers. They think that he's very high up, and I think that right now the Steelers have no wide receiver 3. Roman Wilson, I don't even think.
That's the next offensive player of the year, according to Joey Bray.
I don't even think Roman Wilson enjoys football anymore. I just think he likes to take mirror selfies and then post a broken heart emoji and be a little sad boy. So yeah, no, I think you go Cooper here. Very good player, good hands, experience. Gotta do it.
All right, Omar Cooper, it is. Let's just try and get through this first round. Chargers pick 22. I think Jim Harbaugh, Akeem Mesidor, match made in heaven.
No doubt.
Yeah, words out of my mouth. Yeah.
I'm so glad we finally agreed.
WVU.
Philly, pick 23.
Freeling still available?
Freeling, yeah.
Freeling still available. Georgia, love their Georgia boys. We're taking it. All right, Cleveland, pick 24. What do we got?
Boston.
Casey Concepcion.
Casey?
Denzel Boston.
I've got
Denzel
Boston. Yeah, Boston.
I'm going Boston. Sorry, B-Laz.
Conception's going top 10.
Yeah, Concepcion's going pick 9. Duh. Sorry, Blake. All right, Chicago, pick 25. I think it doesn't matter who the best available prospect is. You have to go D-line.
You have to go D-line.
I think they go the safety out of Toledo, McNeil Warren.
They don't need secondary help.
But they do. They actually are very high on him. From the reports I've seen, the Bears love McNeil Warren.
But I think the Bears have to go D-line.
Cade McDonald.
They did lose Quan Brisker.
They did. They do need a safety, actually.
So
they don't need DB. They need quarterback. They need safety.
So we're going McNeil Warren?
Yeah.
The Toledo guy?
Yeah.
Hey.
I mean,
let it rip.
that might get some
Buffalo Cade
booze.
McDonald.
Buffalo.
I might get some booze, but
I don't know.
Needs it.
All right, Buffalo. B-Laz, rip it.
Cade McDonald.
Ohio State. I like that pick. Usually Buffalo sucks at drafting, so that kind of makes me a little bit upset. But I also think Cade McDonald's a second-round talent. Sorry, B-Laz. I know you want to hear that.
He's borderline. I
San
agree.
Francisco, pick 27. Literally any position, but preferably offensive line.
Not wide receiver, though.
What tackles are there?
Blake Miller.
They could go Blake Miller.
Caleb
Go there.
Lomu, though.
Yeah.
I think Blake Miller is a higher prospect.
You think Blake Miller?
Probably Blake Miller.
We'll rip Blake Miller. All right, just a few more picks. Houston, pick 28. I think this could be a very surprising pick. I think Price could go to Houston because they don't have full faith in Woody Marks.
I think it's Peter Woods or Caleb Banks here.
I could also see Peter Woods.
Peter Woods, yeah. Perfect.
Perfect. Yeah, I see Caleb Banks. I think Houston will try to trade up because of the fact
Who?
that they're lower down. They try to trade up for a running back.
They'd have to trade to pick 3.
They could. Who knows?
Pick 29.
I accidentally
Let's just put Peter Woods.
What'd you take?
I accidentally took Arizona State offensive tackle. We'll just say that was Peter Woods. Kansas City, pick 29. This is where they go receiver.
Yeah, you go Casey or Concepcion.
Casey Concepcion.
Yep.
They're still getting them, Blake.
There we go.
Now, it's gonna be it could be flip flop. They
Yeah.
could go receiver top 10 and then corner. If you see corner at
You're
29,
right.
it could be like Colton Hood out of Tennessee.
No, Mansour Delane's coming, pick 29. Casey Concepcion is pick 9.
That would be epic. That would be a great shout by Blake. If that
Honestly,
happens.
But no.
I will give Blake all the props in the world if he gets Casey Concepcion in the top 10.
Hey.
Miami, pick 30.
Who do we have in this draft for them at 11?
Ruben Payne.
I think they take Terrell then. They need secondary help.
I like that.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
Or they take wide receiver.
They could take receiver here.
I had Denzel Boston from Washington.
I have
yeah, I
Denzel
can-
Boston
I
in
can-
the
yeah.
slot, but he's already
I
off
had
the
them
board.
taking receiver with their first pick, so that's why I have them taking secondary with
So
that.
we're
second
taking
one.
Terrell.
Yeah, that works.
All right.
This
Sorry.
is all me.
Pick 31.
What's
New
top
England.
offensive lineman?
Top off Caleb Lomu. The fact he's still on the board
Oh my
right
God.
now
Yeah,
is
you just
insane.
take-
Oh my God.
You just take best available offensive line at that point. I
Seattle.
had Emmanuel Pregnon, but
I'm telling you, Seattle at pick 32 is where Price goes. Because think about it, Charbonnet, how's he going to – he's coming back like halfway through the year. How's the knee going to hold up? Price makes perfect sense for the Seahawks. Get another – not power back, but sort of a guy that can do it all like Kenneth Walker could. You're getting your Kenneth Walker replacement while keeping Charbonnet in that backup role. Price makes all the sense in the world. The only thing I'm scared of is that it makes too much sense, and this is the NFL draft. But I think Price here.
Well, hear me out. I think if they stick in pick, it's Price. I think they could trade out with the Cardinals. The Cardinals trade up, jump in front of the Jets because the Jets have 33. You jump up to 32. I think the Cardinals could definitely take Ty Simpson there, and then you go back to 34 with the Seahawks, and then you take Jadarian Price, and you get draft capita, especially considering they don't have much.
Yeah, and that we're taking Price. That
We're not doing trades.
that ends the first round of this mock draft, and that was
Some interesting picks.
I mean, it's interesting. Like I said, there's so many players that you can just pick from any of these teams. It's not cut and dry as to who goes where.
Yeah.
So we could see some surprise picks.
Now I'm going to do something interesting. I'm going to let the database do the second round just to see how it compares to us.
Can I get like a quick summary of what happened in the first round, or like any shot?
They did not like
I
some of my
overheard
picks.
a bit.
Blake said Casey Concepcion.
That's what
at
I
pick
heard,
9.
and I was a little worried about that. I was hoping it wasn't true.
Yeah, that was one that the rest of us were in awe.
Casey
to say.
Concepcion. That's crazy when Jordan Tyson and Carnell Tate aren't even guaranteed in the top 10.
My thinking is because of the role he plays, basically be what Tyreek Hill would have been if he had
Do you mean
re-signed
the
him.
role he plays if he can't catch the ball, but he's a really good returner?
More of he's a short yardage receiver. Put him at wide receiver 3.
There were games that he wasn't even the number one receiver on his own team.
Approved. All right, so you want the rundown?
Approved.
Mendoza, Reese, Bailey, Love, Tate, Maui Goa, Downs, Styles, Delane, Vega, yeah. Ruben Bain, Tiananmen at 12, Tyson, then that's Blake's pick.
Yo, what is up with you and Texas A&M guys?
Which pick
are
is
you a
that?
Texas A&M fan?
No.
Is that so? Oh, wow. Okay.
It was a fun draft.
I like the Fano pick for the Detroit. I like any tackle for Detroit to replace Taylor Decker. I really like McNeil Warren to replace Jaquan Brisker. I like Monroe Freeling. If I don't like a tackle. I'm a huge Eagles fan, as you can see. But
Give us the chant.
Y'all never
Give
just
it to us.
I'm not giving it until you guys tune into the reaction show later.
That was an accident.
An accident? I feel like that's still a good pick. Houston's gonna go offense.
By the way, the reaction show, if it's on Twitch, it is just U92 FM
yes,
on
yes.
Twitch. Just U92
Very-
FM.
very
No the
good.
Moose. No.
Very good shout. Very good shout. It is live right now, but we will be going on there in about 30 minutes. A little under 30 minutes when it starts. But
I think. Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
I know one thing about this draft. Like, I think we've been hitting that. Like, it lacks top end talent. So that's like very like can't miss prospects. Like there's a handful of can't miss prospects, but even someone like Ruben Bain, like at one point he was like a can't miss prospect, but now he's slipped because of his T-Rex arms. So like,
I honestly feel like there's a couple position groups that are very top heavy. I mean, for me, it's literally a lot of offensive side of the ball. You have quarterback very top heavy. Mendoza's going number 1, and then there's going to be a huge gap between him and Simpson. For running back, it's going to be Jeremiah Love in the top 5, and then the next one is going to be Jadarian Price, who's going to be late first, early second, if even that. Tight end, Kenyon Sadiq is going to go mid first, and then you won't see the next tight end go until Eli Stowers and probably mid to late second. But a lot of top heavy guys, but I feel like this is going to be a lot of trenches. There's going to be a lot of defensive linemen. There's going to be a lot of offensive linemen going. I feel like a really underrated prospect. I don't know if you guys were talking about it, but Peter Woods, he had a really good junior year for Clemson, and he kind of just fell off a cliff because Clemson fell off a cliff altogether. But I really like Peter Woods, and I feel like he's going to – oh, you have him going 20? See, in all the mock drafts I've seen –
I think one of them had Peter Woods going top 10.
I had him number 8 to the Saints.
Number 8?
Wow.
I don't know about top 10. I didn't mean that he was that much of an underrated prospect.
Whoa.
But I like Peter Woods and TJ Parker. I thought they were both going to be top 10 picks before this year, and then Clemson fell off a cliff. But I feel like they're going to be two really good prospects coming out of the draft.
One thing, too, about this draft, you have 6 teams with multiple first-round picks and 6 teams with no first-round picks. Obviously, that's how it works here in the NFL. But, I mean, you just have a lot of teams gearing up for the future here. Like, one that comes to mind is the New York Giants. You're in a position where you can either make or break your future depending on who you take with those 2 top 10 picks.
No way they fail.
New
on both
coach.
picks, right?
New coach.
And the Cowboys, they got 2 first-round picks. The
And
Browns.
You got a team like the Dolphins, who I think have 11 or 12.
I think it's
picks.
11 and 30.
11 pick. They
Oh, you
have,
mean in total?
Dolphins have specifically they have 7 just inside of the top 100, and the Dolphins have a lot of help. Need a lot of help. The Steelers, hometown team, league high 12 picks across the NFL draft. A lot of commissary picks.
Yeah, 3/3. You could make him. You could see him make a trade up.
I think one storyline that I'm specifically going to be looking at is if the Ravens can find a long-term replacement for Linderbaum. I mean, he was arguably the best safety in the league, his best center in the league. Sorry about that. So I think the Ravens are going to have to find a replacement for him. If not, they're going to
Are
feel.
you talking about Linderbaum?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Linderbaum. Lions obviously have to figure out the offensive line play. What position group do y'all think is the strongest in this draft?
Edge.
Offensive line.
Offensive line, no doubt.
I think offensive line.
Well, I
by a
think
mile.
offensive line is just you can split it up into center, tackle, and guard. That's where I'm like
I
the
think
edge class
corners.
overall.
I think the cornerback class. I think 1 through 7 are all going to be all pro level players.
Xavier Scruggs.
I'm looking at your one mock draft right here, and I saw, where was it? Colton Hood going to, if he drops to 48, I mean, it says Falcons taking him at 48. If he drops to 48, that's a steal, because personally for me, I had him going late for me, I had him as the 3rd best corner. I had him ahead of Avion Terrell, who I think is also very good, but they're like 3 picks separating each other. I think those 2 are very comparable.
I think Reed Kerr could go in the 2nd round.
Ooh, I like that.
You like that pick? Maybe to the Eagles.
That caught me so off.
Reed
I was just-
Carrico?
I was just looking at WU players, and
I would be
honestly,
surprised if we have anyone
there's
in
none.
day 2.
I
There's
love
none.
that pick.
there's
They
none.
don't pick somebody in the first round.
If they don't take a receiver in the 1st round, the Eagles going Brazel in the 2nd.
I know there's so many like false rumors that come out for the NFL draft, but I heard a lot about Brian Thomas Jr.
Like I said, I'm so high on CC. I think whoever takes him is incredible.
Any teams
I
trading up?
totally agree. And I mean, we just mentioned it, but D'Angelo Ponce, I
Yeah.
know he's short, but dude, he's a beast.
He is a tiny guy, though.
I feel like the Rams just have to pick him up just for the fact that they have Lake, Rivers, and I forget, there's someone else they have on their team, but they have a lot of players with just Waters as their last name. If they added Pons, they would complete the quadruple. The quartet.
Yeah, he's 5'9". Holy, I'm taller than him.
I mean, not much longer. Yeah, but I think the one thing I want to see from everybody is who is your biggest riser in this draft. Who's the one guy from your personal mock draft that you have rising the most?
I honestly will go with Sonny Styles, because I know he was projected there for a minute at number 12 to the Cowboys, but now you could see him going possibly number 5 through that 7 range between the Giants and the Commanders.
I know we mentioned it, or I know I mentioned it a little bit earlier. I was going to be shocked if Monroe Freeling got to number 23 for the Eagles, but I think he's going to be a huge riser. I think going into the draft, or going into like the initial draft process, Francis Mauigoa is that how you pronounce it? Maui Goa, offensive tackle. He was number 1. Spencer Fano out of Utah, he was number 2. I think Freeling has potential to jump up into the top 10. I think I've seen a lot of mock drafts with him going number 6 to the Browns. I've seen him going number 17 to the Lions. I think initially he wasn't even in the top or in the 1st round, but I think he is going to be a huge riser. And I think he's going to go a lot earlier than people expected him to.
Yeah, I think Jordan Tyson's someone who, for a while, was kind of in that middle 1st round pick. But I really do think he could go to the Giants with that 5th pick. I really do. He's just so elite.
besides the obvious, I think Ty Simpson, because he did so poorly towards the end of the year. He was very unproductive. I watched the SEC championship. He looked really uncomfortable, not very good, but we could see him go first round. I have him going to the Steelers.
I feel like Caden Proctor could be a player you see go as low as the bottom of the first round and as high as like pick 17 to the Lions. I feel like he's someone, if he doesn't go pick 17 to the Lions, I don't know if other teams are going to be as high on him. I feel like he could really rise up those ranks and get up there to the mid-first round.
Honestly, I think this is kind of set in stone, but Jadarian Price is going to be the biggest riser of this draft. I know DJ loves that, Notre Dame fan. Jadarian Price is just any other draft class, he's RB1. Like, that's set in stone. And it's the fact that he's this highly rated of a prospect being a backup running back. Like, that's how impressive he was in the limited time that he was on the field.
Another riser, Akeem Ezador.
I agree. I honestly, I have him going to the Eagles. And that terrifies me.
He's such an Eagles pick.
That terrifies me.
We were talking about that during the cookout a little while ago, and I said I would love Akeem Ezador to the Eagles just because there really isn't an edge rusher presence, and I have either edge rusher or tackle going to the Eagles at pick number 23 if they don't trade out of it. But if Akeem Ezador fell or Monroe Freeling, if either of those guys fell, I feel like those are top 15 prospects. I think those are top 15 talents, and if they end up falling out of top 20, that would be insane to me.
Kind of say a quick little hot take here. If the Steelers draft Ty Simpson in the first round, I'm jumping off my apartment. I'm on.
No.
I'm on the first floor. No, I'm on the first floor.
He's on the first floor.
First floor.
Okay.
First floor. There's a bush. There's a bush right in front.
We're good.
There's a bush right in front.
All right. So on that note, on the note of ending things, we're going to be ending the pre-draft show. When we come back, it's going to be Quinn Robie, Nico Corretto, Matt Foley, me, Connor Roberts, Brett Berner, and Cody Burton here in the studio with you. Shout out everybody here. Say your names.
Make sure to tune into the reaction show as well, live on Twitch. I will be hosting that downstairs, and we will be and my co-host, Brayden Laslo, of course.
Let's go.
We will be also tuning into the main draft show, and we'll be going back and forth, but tune in as well.
The draft show, reaction show is absolutely incredible. It's so much fun. You guys are going to have a lot of fun downstairs. Tune in to both. Have them side by side. But like I said, when we come back, we'll have more draft coverage on U92. The Moose.